Quite a few of you. Okay, so for those of you who haven't, I want you to just look at the cover and the title, and I want you to write down a prediction on what you think it's going to be about. If you have read the story, your prediction should be fairly correct, right? So just maybe one event that you think happens throughout the story, just by the title and by the pictures. Go ahead and write it in your notebooks. Did you get one? Do you have a prediction written down? Okay. And it can be just one quick event you think happens throughout this story. We'll talk about them afterwards, okay? Okay, everybody have a prediction written down? Okay, today we're going to do what's called an interactive read aloud. So I'm going to read you the story, and throughout parts of the story, I'm going to have you guys read some parts with me, okay? I have the cue cards here, so you'll just read off the cue cards. Can everybody see the cue cards? Yes. So can you scoot over a little bit so you can see them? Right now, you're not going to be able to. But if you can read that, I want you to be able to read that. Okay. Go ahead. All right, we're going to read Piggy Pie by Margie Palatini. And keep in mind what your predictions were. Let's see if your predictions are true. Gritch the witch woke up grouchy, grumpy, and very hungry. Her belly grumbled for something delicious, something delightful, something special. But what? It wasn't purple mousetail stew. No, she had that yesterday. Maybe some mashed dragon tongue pudding. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Ooh, that sounds good too. No, Gritch wasn't in the mood for anything quite that sweet. Perhaps a taste of boiled black buzzard feet. That always made her mouth water. No, not today. Today, Gritch wanted something truly tasty. Something really yummy. Something special. And that could only mean Piggy Pie. Yes, Piggy Pie. I can taste those plump, juicy pink piggies right now, Gritch said, smacking her lips. She hurried to the pantry and pulled down her old hay cookbook from the top shelf. She picked off the spider, blew off the dust, and turned to the secret recipe on page 342. Gritch ran her bony finger with a long green nail down the list of ingredients. One eye of a fly. She checked the pantry shelves. No problem, said Gritch. 2 shakes of a rattlesnake's rattle. No problem, said Gritch. 3 belly hairs of a possum. No problem, said Gritch. 8 plump piggies. Problem! Screeched Gritch. I don't have any piggies. How can I make piggy pie without even one puny pink pig? Gritch pulled her hair. She stomped her feet. She paced the floor. She wanted piggy pie. She wanted piggy pie very much. She said, tapping the lucky wart on her chin. Now where would I find 8 plump pigs? Gritch thought and thought and thought. Aha! She shouted with a jump. The circus! Yes, the circus. Are there pigs at the circus?
No.
The circus? No, not the circus. You don't find pigs at the circus. She thought harder. Aha! She shouted with a jump. The zoo! Yes, the zoo. You find them at the zoo?
No. Yeah.
Do you?
Sometimes.
Maybe sometimes.
Well,
Maybe. The zoo? No, not the zoo. You don't find pigs in the zoo. She thought much harder. The farm? Yes, the farm. You find pigs on the farm. There still was just one teeny tiny little problem. where to find a farm. Where else? Gritch said, let her bony fingers do the walking, and opened the yellow pages to F, where she found a very large ad. This was it. Gritch put her broomstick in gear and headed over the river and through the woods to Old MacDonald's farm. I've got you in my sights now, you little porkers, she crackled as she circled overhead. Surrender piggies, it says. We're going to stop right here, and I want you guys now to make another prediction on what you think is going to happen. Now that you've heard this part of the story, what do you think is going to happen? When you're finished, if you'll put your eyes up on me so I know you're done and we can go on. Ready? Gritch zoomed in for a thump, thump, landing. She spit straw, fanned her still smoking tootsies, and lifted her goggles. There wasn't a pig in sight. Where did they all go? Gritch shouted to a duck. Hey, duck, I said, where are all the piggies? I need 8 plump piggies for piggy pie. The duck quack quacked here, it quack quacked there, here it quacked, there it quacked, everywhere it quack quacked. No piggies. What do you mean, no piggies, you dizzy duck? Gritch screeched into his bill. I just saw a passel of piggies down here not a minute ago. Hand over those hogs, you little quacker. No piggies, quacked the duck. Gritch pulled her hair. She stomped her feet. She even threatened the duck with one of her most evil spells. The duck was not impressed. It wasn't even scared. It gave Gritch another quack and waddled away. So, who needs a dumb duck? Gritch mumbled. Being careful where she stepped, Gritch wandered across the meadow. Yoo-hoo, she shouted. Moo. You, Gritch said to the cow. Where are the piggies? I need 8 plump piggies for piggy pie. The cow moo-mooed here, it moo-mooed there, here it mooed, there it mooed, everywhere it mooed. No piggies. What do you mean, no piggies, you lumpy-looking cow? Screamed Gritch. I need 8 plump piggies for piggy pie. Fork over the pork, you walking milk machine, or I'll curdle your cream. No piggies, mooed the cow. Gritch pulled her hair. She stomped her feet. She even threatened the cow with one of her most evil spells. The cow stared at Gritch, swatted a fly with its tail, and lumbered away. Cows! Who needs them? Gritch muttered. So she tried the barnyard, where she stopped a chicken in its tracks. Okay, bird brain, where are the piggies? I need 8 plump piggies for piggy pie. The chicken clucked, clucked here, it clucked, clucked there, here it clucked, there it clucked, everywhere it clucked, clucked. No piggies. What do you mean, no piggies, you feathered drumstick? Gritch screamed. What's going on here? Where's the boss of this heap of hay? The chicken flapped a wing toward Old MacDonald. Gritch looked him over once, twice, "You're old MacDonald?" she said. "Don't look much like your picture, do you?" The farmer thumbed his suspenders and shrugged. "Look, Shorty, I've been quack-quacked here, moo-mooed there, and cluck-clucked everywhere all over this farm. I need 8 plump piggies for piggy pie. Where are the piggies?" The farmer looked here. He looked there. Here he looked, there he looked. Everywhere he looked and looked. No piggies. "What do you mean, no piggies? You flea-bitten seed spreader? You must have the piggies." Gritch pulled her hair. She stomped her feet. She even threatened him with one of her most evil spells. No piggies. No piggies! Her stomach growled. It grumbled. But there were no piggies. There would be no piggy pie. Now what was she going to eat? Psst. 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 "Excuse me, little lady. Wolf's the name. Let me give you some advice. Forget about the pigs." "Forget about the pigs?" said Gritch, eyeing the wolf. He nodded. "They're too tricky. Trust me. I've been chasing 3 little pigs for days." He huffed and he puffed. "I'm starving. Look at me. I'm nothing but skin and bones." Gritch pinched his arm. "Well, not quite," she grinned. "Mr. Wolf, I have the most wonderful idea. I was thinking, since you haven't eaten and I haven't eaten, why don't you come home with me for lunch? I'm a very good cook." "Why, that does sound tempting," the wolf said, as he looked at the Gritch and smacked his lips. "Are you sure it wouldn't be any problem?" "Problem? No problem at all," she said as they walked off arm in arm. "I always enjoy having a wolf for lunch." Okay, now think about your predictions. Did your predictions, were they right? Were they correct? Were they a little off?
I was way off.
You were way off? You guys were off? They're disguises. So they disguised themselves as something else, didn't they? Did you guys notice that?
Yeah.
They were the chicken, the duck, the cow, and Old MacDonald. Did you notice that they were Old MacDonald also?
I like my favorite part in the story was the wolf and the witch.
Yeah.
The wolf was making a forehead as a hamburger, and the witch was making his head as a sandwich.
At the very end, yeah. So I want you guys now to write down what really happened in the story, okay? Now that your predictions are correct or incorrect, I want you to write down if they were correct or incorrect, and I want you to write down what really happened in this story.
I got the chick, the pig, the chick, the witch.
Good, yep, that's right. Write if it's correct or if it's incorrect. And then write what really happened throughout the story.
What if it was correct?
Then write down that it was correct. And how did you know? Had you read it before? Then go ahead and write that down.
What if you just guessed?
Then you write that down. And then when you guys are all done, you can go back to your